Well, welcome everybody to Eastern Film Fans. Today I have with me Mr. Chris Jones. Chris, introduce yourself to the Eastern Film Fans.
Well, I guess I'm me, really. Not a right lot to say. Yeah, I think people know me through many guises, really. Some people know me through my teaching, through my workshops. Some people know me through my online presence with my courses. Some people know me through the podcasting. Some people know me through the film work. So yeah,
Yeah,
what's the saying? Master of Jack of all, master of none. Is that what it
well,
is?
yeah, it is. Yeah, but I don't think that's true, is it? Let's get back to the crux of it. You are a master of something, and there is always a story, and this is what I love to find out about people: how your story became, because not popular to like the belief that you come out kicking and screaming like Bruce Lee and you're already in the martial arts. There is a journey or a story to tell. So what's your story? How did you get into martial arts from, Chris Jones today, instructor and, everything that you do, but what was the thing that ignited you on that journey? What started you off?
Well, I'm sort of like your stereotypical 1980s kid. You know, Karate Kid, later on Ninja Turtles, standard stuff. But I mean, I wasn't really a very I wasn't really a very sporty kid. I didn't like football. I didn't like I just didn't it wasn't that I wasn't active. I'd run around and mess about with my mates and climb
Yeah,
trees
yeah.
and throw myself down hills and stuff, but I wasn't really sort of a very sort of sporty kid. And I was always the last one to be picked in the school games and all that. If I get the violins out, but yeah. So I just it wasn't me. And then I saw the Karate Kid on TV. In fact, I didn't see all of it. I saw about three-quarters of it because the tape ran out. So we'd recorded it, and I saw about three-quarters of it, and the tape finished. So I didn't know what happened for years afterwards. But anyway, I saw loads of people going into a school, a primary school across the road from my house, dressed in these funny pajamas and stuff. And I'm like, what's this? And I was like, hang on a minute. That looks a bit like what they were wearing on that film. I quite liked that. That looks good. I want a bit of that. So what I did was I invited myself along to the Taekwondo class it was.
Mm.
And I used to sit at the back and watch. Because I thought, well, it's in a school. Can't
Yeah.
stop me. So I just the
Just turned
naivety of
up.
it. I just invited myself at 8 years old or whatever it was. And I
Brilliant.
sat at the back and I watched, and I did that for weeks. And I used to go back home and practice on the trees in the back garden.
Awesome.
And then one day I went in, and the guy came over, the instructor came over, and he went, I think it's about time you come and did a class properly rather than sit at the back every week. And yeah, that was the start of it. And that was what, 1988 ish, something like that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got two daughters, 16, 18 now, and they've just gone started martial arts this year and stuff for Andrew Reeston Martial Arts. And it's fabulous, and he was great with them. And I walked in there with them, and I watched. And because Dad, I did martial arts years and years ago, way back when I did English Contact Karate Association, did a bit of Lao Guard, Wing Chun, etc. and stuff, but never really got into it. And then got into the film side and got lazy. That was my own fault. But I love my films and stuff, so I've stuck with that.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of my kids doing it. Do you know what I mean? And it's great,
Yeah.
and especially having, teenagers and stuff, they go in sometimes just moody as hell because they're that, age. They come out with a smile on the face, and you can't ask for any more than that and stuff. So, it's
That's
a
it.
fabulous occupation, and it's taking you on a journey, I guess, because
Oh, yeah.
there's a journey from there, 88, and then, sometime in the future, you're performing, at the Royal Variety Performance. How the hell did you get from? I mean, obviously, you get good at your martial arts, but I mean, what an opportunity! I mean, I didn't even realize that till I was looking at it. I've known you for a fair few years, but I didn't even realize you'd done it until I started to delve into it. How did that come about?
Yeah, it was one of those bizarre situations. This is back in the dawn of the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was basically blagging it. Truth be told, I was blagging it. I was I was training every single day.
Yeah.
It's all I did. All my mates were already well and true. And I'm not getting them for this because it's what normal people do.
Yeah.
And I wasn't normal. I'm still not to a certain degree. But no, all my mates were out clubbing and drinking and I was just training. And all I did literally was watch Jackie Chan films and go to training. That was it. I didn't do anything else. And as I say, the internet was new, and I was exploring and finding out all these different. Oh wow, look at these things that people are doing, and oh cool, I want a bit of that. And then I start posting videos on internet forums, and it was a director called Steve Lawson, and a lot of people probably know. And he's like, oh, do you want to come and do this little short film thing? And I'm like, yeah, go on, I'll do that, I'll do that. And so I did this, then I posted that on I think it was actually a Jackie Chan discussion board. Remember the old everybody?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
remember them.
yeah.
There'll be a lot of
Forum,
people out
I
there going,
think.
"What's he on
Yeah,
about?" Before MySpace was even a thing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I posted these videos naively thinking if I post enough of these videos, somebody might see it. Anyway, somebody did.
Wow.
Um, a guy called Brendan Carr was based in Aylesbury, and he was putting together like a martial arts troupe, shall we say, like
Hmm.
a film performance team with some massive names on it. Now, when you look back at it, some of the people that when it first started out, he had Silvio Simek was in there, you had
Yeah,
Chloe Bruce and Ashley Beck
yeah.
and Gordon Milne, and all these people have gone on to do massive things in their own rights. And it was really early days, and I think somebody had dropped out of the performance. Somebody couldn't do it or something. And I got the call. It was literally like the next day. And they
Wow.
said, do you want to be on the Royal Variety Show? And I was like, yeah. And then I put the phone down and I'm like, I'm in South Yorkshire.
Crap. What
What?
the?
How am how am I going to get there? Anyway, I figured the rest out. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
yeah, we did it. So it's pretty cool because when the kids in the class and they're all going on about, oh, Britain's Got Talent and he gets to be on the Royal Variety Show, and I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, I did that before it was a prize.
Exactly. Yeah. Before you got five, I did it. I was there. I was first. Yeah, it's fabulous, isn't it? That your journey takes you to that point, and then you like to say, yeah, blag it, and why not and stuff, and why not, and I was the same with you. I spent most of my, up to the point where I did start to go out drinking and everything and stuff. It was literally kung fu
Yeah,
films, Jackie Chan films, all the Bruce Lee films, trying to find them uncut anywhere, every different
yeah.
variety of every VHS tape I could get. I was at several different video shops I used to have. And I used to get the latest releases, and I just embedded and I was doing martial arts the
Yeah,
same.
yeah, yeah.
But it was fantastic. Um, so you said and you talked about did a short film, but you've had a quite a long career as well, not only on screen as an actor, but in stunts as well. So how did that come about? I guess you got into short films and stuff, and I remember I think it was what was the Wasp Boy-esque one and
The
stuff.
first one I did with Ross was Left for Dead.
Left
The
for
very
Dead. That
first
was
one.
it. I think that
That was
was.
an experience and a half.
Yeah, I bet it was. I mean, Ross has gone into great things. I mean, Vengeance
Oh
is
yeah,
nothing, but I mean, it's fantastic, Stu Bennett and stuff. But that was, yeah, I remember that. Rough and Ready. It was, yeah, I bet that was an eye opener to go on a film set and do that and translate martial arts that you're doing to obviously on
yeah.
screen is completely different. So, what was the
Oh,
transition like for you? What was the experience? I
it's
guess.
it's I was young. God, what would I have been?
Mm,
22 ish, 20,
2008. Yes.
22,
Yeah.
23, something like that. Young, naive, impressionistic. I had these ideas of, oh, I can do all this. Yeah, I do it all the time. It's easy peasy. And then
Yeah. Yeah.
boom, mind blown. You the reality of working on set, whether it's a micro budget or a massive production, the reality is it's bloody hard work, and a lot of
Mm.
people go, "Oh, well, it's just pretend." Well, yeah, it's pretend to a point, but when you're having to do it take after take after take after take, and it has to be the same every time, and you have to take the hit in the same place every time. And once you've done it like 4 or 5 takes, and you've been hitting the same place every time, it starts to sting a bit. And it could be 1 o'clock in the morning and -2, and you've still got to do it. You've still got to be can't go on. Well, it's cold, I can't do it. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot harder than people think it is,
Yeah.
presume it is, or give people credit for. It's
Mm.
it's hard in a different way. I'd say it's mentally very very tough. It's it. I've known a lot of people walk on sets and they're, oh, I'm a world champion and I'm a tough, super tough fighter, and half an hour later they're having a tantrum and stomping off because it's not quite going the way they're expecting. And it was a eye-opening experience because obviously we were there was a high churn. So like we'd have like a little maybe featured scene, but then we would get killed about 17 different times in different hoodies turned back to front
Yeah,
and
yeah,
beanie hats
exactly.
and ski masks. And you'd be on set all day, and we all signed up to this. We knew what we were
Yeah,
getting into. We knew what the film was, but it'd be all night as well. And like 3 in the morning, it's like your turn now. Like, what? I'm sleeping on a crash mat in the gym, or it was a tremendous team bonding experience, and it
mm,
was eye opening. It was probably the best start you could hope for
yeah,
because it was really hard work, but there was so many people involved. It was you know some really high caliber people, and then some people who were just starting out. It was a really really good mix. Um, Great experience.
yeah. I can imagine, and like I say, I know you've been in this several different TV shows and films and stuff. Mark Strange crops up, displaced, a young Mark
Yeah,
Strange. I saw that the other day. I was like, wow,
yeah.
look how young he is there. And I was with him the
How
other
young I
week and
was.
stuff. Yeah, I know exactly the same. We're all younger back then and stuff, but it was great. The evolution stuff. Have you got any highlights from? I mean, obviously you worked on so many series, and but anything stands out for you? Highlights you think, oh, that was great, and or met so and so, and or things
Um,
that you've done, I guess, because like I say, stunts, acting, action choreographer. I mean, you got a long list of things you've been doing in the film career, industry
yeah,
for
I
a while.
mean, I've been lucky. I'll say that I've been lucky
Hmm.
to fortunate to be able to do the things that I've done.
Yeah.
But things that stand out, I would say probably um, standing on a set in China somewhere. I mean, we traveled so much, I forgot where. I think we're in a place called Dali. Well,
Nice.
I can't even remember. Anyway,
Yeah.
standing on a set in China, on dressed as a like a 19 I think it was 1970s or maybe it was early. I can't remember. Anyway, like naval officer, American naval officer, with Corey Young Kwai stood in front of me, giving me
Wow.
directions on how to die. And I'm like, this is happening. This is the thing that I've been building up to all these years. It's happening
Yeah.
right now. And I remember standing there. Literally, all I had to do on this one particular shot was take a slice to the neck, wiggle a bit, and fall backwards on a crash mat. But it all of a sudden felt like I was being asked to do like a triple back somersault and land on my little finger, because of who it was that was
The
asking me to do it.
enormity of like who
I
you're
know, and I'm
standing in
like,
front of.
this is the dude in front of me now. Like, I've watched him in so many films and watched so many of his films, and he's standing right there now. And I'm like, it was a bit of yeah, it was surreal. And that's always a moment that I think, wow, it's not like a wow, I've made it moment, because literally I got sliced to the neck and then died backwards. There's
Wow,
far
yeah,
more
but
impressive
yeah,
things
it's
that
great.
people have done. But in my little world, in my going back in time to, my teenage self, collecting all of these films, and I was in a film with was it one
Yeah.
of the people I used to watch? He was there in front of me telling me, and it was like, wow, this is really cool. How some average taekwondo guy from South Yorkshire has ended up on a film set in China. I mean, it's proof that if you blag hard enough and work hard enough and don't give in, you can do it.
I,
And
I think, I think, yeah. I mean, other blagging comes into it and stuff, but you got to put the hard work and dedication. You got to keep going for it.
it's a
You're gonna
balance.
get a taste of something if you keep, like I say, hard work and
Yeah.
dedication. You're gonna get your just desserts, and you've certainly done that throughout your career and stuff. So, um, quite recently reviewed the film Rupture with Mark
Yep.
Strange and stuff, where you go toe to toe, which was great because I didn't realize you were in it until I watched it for review purposes, and I did the Q&A with Ranjit and the cast and stuff. But it was fantastic to see you on screen again, I have to say, and kicking it. And I said to Marcus stuff, I said the only reason you beat Chris, so because you shot him in the foot. I mean, if you hadn't done that, Chris was all over you and stuff. I guess the scene probably might have been longer and stuff. Was it fun to do with Mark? I mean, obviously,
Yeah, it
yes, but
always is. It's always a pleasure to work with Mark.
yeah.
I always make this joke with him that every time we have a fight, he kicks the crap out of me. It's like every single time he needs to have one fight at least at some point, sometime where I at least nearly beat him.
Yeah,
Or what I mean.
give me a
But no,
chance.
that scene in particular was originally quite a lot different to how it played out. I've not actually seen the finished scene
No,
yet. I've
no, it's
not
just coming
seen
out
it.
now. So yeah, yeah, I'd love to see it soon.
It's
Too.
bizarre, and I've got all these people telling me about, oh, it's this and it's that, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've not seen it yet. But originally it was very very different fight. Quite a bit more, I would say, a bit more flamboyant. I did a lot
Okay.
more flying around and stuff.
Yeah.
It may be for the best that it ended up the way it was. It has. I don't know. But yeah, it was a pleasure to work with him. It always is. You know, his Mark's a consummate professional. You know, he's been around the block, so to speak. He's got the badges. He knows what he's doing, and you know, it's always nice to work with somebody at that level because we literally we walked on and we with each take it was literally a one time rehearsal and then we did it and
Yeah.
we did it as many times as he needed for the angles or whatever. And it's not often I've been lucky enough to work with people of that level, but you know, oftentimes it can be you're having to do retakes because maybe the distancing was off or the timing was off, the choreography. You didn't get that with Mark. It was every time it was exact. It was what you needed every single time, and it just it makes it a really, you know, although you're kicking the crap out of each other, it makes it a really pleasurable experience in that sense. In that
Yeah.
you've got that chemistry going, and
Yeah, exactly. You
it's like a
can tell.
dance.
Yeah.
It's like a
You
dance
can
without
tell.
trying to make it sound too
No,
fantasy or you know, it feels like like when you're in sync with another performer, it really it feels like a dance, a
you
very
can tell.
violent dance.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. But you can tell, I've always said it on films and stuff, is if you get it right, it looks like dance choreographed because you get it right, you're in sync with your partner, and it looks great. It
Yeah.
looks great on screen because it's action fine on the screen, and you bring that. And thank you, because I really enjoyed that, and it was great and stuff. Let's bring it back down to you then, because not only martial arts, action, stunts, action, you're doing podcasts as well. You've got
Yeah.
your own podcast. I mean,
Yeah.
geez, how do you fit all this in for a start off? But no, let's go back to the podcast. Why the
Okay.
podcast? Why did you think all of a sudden, oh,
All right.
let's do a podcast?
So, I listen to a lot of podcasts. Well, I used to anyway. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I thought, well, I've done bits of TV presenting stuff.
Yeah,
I've done live TV. I've done stage. I've done films. You know, sporadically, different times. I've done little bits. I've taught. I've taught my own classes. I've
yeah.
taught at big events, trade shows. You know, one thing I've not done is not DJing as such, but like I've not done
Yeah, yeah.
presenting on like on a radio format or on a like a digital audio format. So I just thought, well, what can I talk about? I don't know much about much, but I've been doing this martial arts a lot for a while, so I'll talk about that. And so I did, and then people listened to it, and I thought that's a bit weird. Okay, well we'll just keep doing it, and yeah, I think we're just short of 100 episodes now or something. It's crazy.
Oh, okay.
It's just me
Just
bragging on about
where can
martial
people
arts.
listen? Yeah, where can people listen to it? Where do they find you? Where's where
If
you at?
they search up Kickback with Chris, the martial arts podcast.
Perfect.
Yeah,
You
they can
got
go
it.
check it out. Well, I've had well, you'll know this one, I'm
Yeah.
sure. I've had a little bit of not an extended break, but a little bit of a couple of like a month's break. Sometimes I you know, when you've been doing it for so long, with anything really, sometimes you just need to go right, just chill out a little bit because I didn't want
Yeah.
to get to the point where I was recording for the sake of recording and
Yes.
actually resenting doing the thing that I actually enjoy doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
I thought, well, what have I got to talk about? Well, at the minute, there's like cost of living crisis, this and politics, this and Putin, that, and I'm like, hang on, there's nothing. Just chill out. I'm gonna have a break for a bit.
Yeah.
Wait till there's something positive to talk about.
Yeah, yeah. Let the world spin a couple of times, and we'll come back around when it's
Yeah.
positive.
But no, I
It
just needed a
sounds
little bit of a brain
yeah.
break.
Yeah,
So
good.
I'm switching up the format a little bit, and then I've got it ready to go actually, and I just need to do it.
Cool.
I've got my mics here now.
Yeah, just go for it. Do it. No, good.
Yeah,
Come back.
I will get back to it. I've actually
Yeah.
got. I need to take some time out from my training shortly, so I'll probably be doing it then. So
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, a couple more things before I let you loose. First up, future plans. You got anything in the pipeline? What's going on with Chris? Obviously, you're gonna ramp up your podcast again. Anything else on the horizon you can share with everybody you've got coming
oh,
up?
I got this. I know.
Teaser.
I know this is. You probably hate it when people do this, but I've got something I worked on earlier this year, but I had to sign an NDA about
Oh, I
this
know
thick,
it. I know it.
right? So if I say anything about it, I'm
Oh God.
fearful for the legal team of the particular television channel that I worked for, because they are
Yeah, fair enough.
scary as heck.
Yeah, no, that's fair. If you sign
Well,
an
I did a
NDA, that's it.
television show.
Yeah,
I did a TV series.
cool.
I'm in one episode. I played
Yeah,
a small role and did
cool.
some stunts in that, with a couple of other people that people will recognize. And that's as much as I dare say, for fear of
Okay.
a
Go
legal
for it.
team turning
I'm
up in a
not going to
black
push on
van.
it. I'm not going to. No, it's fine. Good. Well, I'm glad that people recognize the talent and you're still going out there and blagging your way. No,
Oh yeah, I'm
no, the
always.
talent shines through. No, the talent shines through. I said hard work, dedication. You don't stay in this business for that long in everything you do without hard work and dedication. So fair play to you, and
Thank
all
you.
your support for everything you do within the martial arts community. Thank you for that, because I see you round about. So thank you very much for that. But let's come down to it. What we're really here for, and everybody else, is these
Okay.
film fans question. Drum roll,
Oh,
please. Drum roll, right on. So, if you're stuck in a desert island and you can only take 3 films with you, they can be any genre. They can be any genre. What 3 films would you take? Now, sometimes I prep people with the question, but I didn't with you and stuff. So I'm going to talk for a little bit so you can think about it. It can be any genre. And
I'm ready.
are you ready? All right. In
Well, I've
fact,
got at
go
least
for it.
I've got at least two.
Okay, go on then. Do it. Do it.
First one, Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh, excellent! I nearly put my T-shirt "Rumble in the Bronx" on. It's over there.
Didn't even need to that, because that was
Awesome!
my catalyst for this whole thing. Well, the major
Wow.
one anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seeing that film, because I'd seen a few like martial arts films and stuff, obviously. But
Yeah.
when I saw that, I would have been about 15 at the time, maybe, and I saw that and I was like, "What the holy hell is this? What is this man doing these things and the thing?" I was
Awesome.
like, "Wow, I want to do that. That's what I want to do."
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
I have that to thank for me doing, the
This.
vast majority of what I do now.
Yeah.
So that's one. Second one, it's a bit of a guilty pleasure. I'm not only a martial arts fanatic, but also a massive sci-fi fan, particularly Star Trek, which is one of the reasons I ended up in martial arts. I think my dad was fearful I was going to get the crap kicked out of me if I didn't have something to back it up. Growing up in Doncaster and being into science fiction,
Yeah.
sorry if you're from Doncaster and you find that offensive, but it's true. You know, I liked musical instruments and science fiction as a child. So I think my dad was like, we need an insurance policy here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I
Let's
can
get him
understand.
into
Go
some
on.
martial arts training. I wouldn't play rugby, so it was martial arts. But yeah, Star Trek First Contact. That's one of my guilty pleasure films. I like that film. Um,
That's classic. See, I Star Trek Wrath of Khan because I'm older and Wrath of
oh
Khan.
well, I like that film as well, but it's
Yeah.
just something about First Contact. I just like it. I think it's got that
Yeah.
whole
No,
sort of
I'm a Star Trek fan. I'm a massive fan.
horror sci-fi
Yeah, it is. It
crossover thing,
captures, it crosses over, doesn't it? No, it's cracking. No,
and it's just
uh,
badass.
perfect.
So,
Yeah, it is badass. And
and probably another guilty pleasure would be Karate Kid, because
yeah,
that was the film that sparked all of this properly for me. And there's just something about the chemistry of, I know it's not, a lot of martial arts film fanatics would be like, oh, but it's rubbish. But it's just something
no, it's
about the fact that martial arts isn't, it's the vehicle for the story. It's not the be all and end all. And it's the relationship between Mr. Miyagi and Daniel
mm,
LaRusso. And I think a lot of people can connect with that, either
yeah,
if they're being bullied themselves or they've gotten into martial arts for whatever reason. They see some of themselves in that, and I certainly do. I wasn't taught by Mr. Miyagi balancing on a boat and all that, but it was,
bet
yeah.
you tried
I
it.
still saw some of myself in that character. So yeah, there
Yeah,
would be my 3 films off the top of my head. Although I am sat in my man cave upstairs at my gym, which is literally full of DVDs, VHS, VCDs, Blu-rays, like all across this
everywhere.
back wall here. And I'm looking at them all now going, I said the right films.
Yeah, pick me, pick me. Well, you can only pick 3, Chris. But look, as I say to everybody, if you ever come back on, you can always pick a different 3.
Hey, there
I'm
you
not,
go then.
that's what I mean. There might be something you want to come back. We can come back. We can have a chat, pick another 3. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, and
I'll
like I
try.
say, it's appreciated within the martial arts community. Appreciated by us, and thank you. And I can't wait to see you on screen again, whatever that might be, in any guise, in any TV show or whatever that might be. Great. I can look forward to it. So please stay safe, be well, and I'll catch you soon, mate. Yeah.
Of course, no worries.
Take care. Cheers, Chris. Bye.